My name is Adi Vaxman. I am the founder and president of Operation Israel, a nonprofit grassroots organization with a purpose that was born out of the atrocities of October 7th. I had just returned from a 3-week mission to Israel, a journey that has changed me in ways I'm still struggling to process. I want to share with you the Israel I witnessed, a nation forever changed, yet resilient in the face of unimaginable challenges. Israel post-October 7th may seem to the innocent bystander as the same place it's always been. People go about their day, they shop, they eat, they go to work, go to the movies, watch TV, drive like maniacs, sit in endless traffic, argue, yell, and make up. But if you're really looking, you'll find a very different country behind all this routine normal. I was in Israel last year in September, 10 months later, and I hardly recognized the country I left last year. If you're there for the first time, you may think we're just obsessed with our flag or simply patriotic. But if you know what happened, you'll feel that painful pinch every time you see a huge 1,000-foot-long flag hanging on a very tall building. When you first get to Israel and see those fading yellow ribbons tied to car door handles, you wonder what the deal is. After you drive around for a while and see thousands of them, accompanied by yellow flags on cars, yellow chairs in traffic circles, and yellow everything in the heart of Tel Aviv, you start feeling that deep, hollow pain in the pit of your stomach because so many of us are missing, and the void is simply so palpable, so incredibly painful. When you drive around at night, you'll see dozens of Stars of David lit up in blue all over the place. Walking on the street, you'll see heart-shaped signs with hostages' faces on them stuck in the median or in the grass patch in a park like a bouquet of flowers. You'll see groups of people standing in random street corners waving flags and signs and protesting, asking and begging to bring them home. You'll see their faces plastered all over huge billboards, building sides, and every imaginable telephone pole or bulletin board, even the gas pump. But what got me the most were the stickers. In random places on the street, at the gas station, at the mall, on cars, on every surface you can stick them to. Each sticker tells the story of a life that was lost that day and through the war, and an entire world of grief, sorrow, and loss that the mother, father, siblings, and friends of the person on the sticker are feeling for the last 10 months. And then there's the soldiers. Each one of them carries the world on their shoulders. Each one willing to go to the end of the earth and back to find the hostages and bring them back. Each one feels like the future of this country is in their own hands alone. Fighting like lions in subhuman conditions against a subhuman enemy that wants to annihilate the Jewish people and feeds on hate and destruction. They were brave and inspiring and humble and simply made me cry. The stories they told about what they witnessed that day, the spark in their eyes when they tell me about their efforts to bring the hostages back, and how the nature of the fighting completely revolves around that thought. Their gratitude for every flashlight, pair of gloves, or tourniquet we hand them. They're the one thing that had given me hope on this trip. On our last day in Israel, we went to the Western Wall. I put in a prayer for the soldiers, for the hostages, for the country, and for Am Yisrael and the Jewish people. Jerusalem always makes me emotional. You can feel the Spirit of God in the air. We walked through the narrow alleyways of the market and felt the stones screaming at us with 1,000 voices, telling the story of 4,000 years of wars, tragedies, pain, loss, and miracles. Stones that have been there for thousands of years, just like we have. The walls of the city of David tell a story about a people that were able to survive through unimaginable and horrible trials for thousands of years while keeping their faith and traditions against all odds. Between army unit visits, media appearances, and family meetings, I found the country broken in pain and united in spirit. I found my beloved Israel in 1,000 shades of grief, yet a glimmer of hope that was enough to make me think this may just turn out to be another miracle in the end. I'm not a very religious person, but during this visit I saw clear and undeniable proof that Israel and the Jewish people are nothing short of a miracle. I felt the unmistakable presence of a higher power, Hashgacha Elyona, somehow watching over us when we mess it up too much. This realization has been my one source of hope for the past 10 months, keeping me focused on this critical fight we're all fighting together, not just for Israel, but for the very survival of the Jewish people. We are part of something greater than ourselves, a legacy of perseverance that has defied the odds for millennia and will continue to do so. As I said goodbye to my beloved homeland, my closest friend, my brand new niece, my brother who is fighting in the war, and the many, many graves I left behind, I said a prayer for the soldiers, the hostages, and for the grieving, blood-soaked land of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and asked God to have mercy and keep them all safe from harm, bring the hostages home, and let us begin the very long journey of healing and rehabilitation ahead. I invite you to visit operationisrael.org for more information about our work. Am Yisrael Chai, forever and ever.